Hey, hi, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites every single time. Folks, you know, I have been in the mood lately to go back and take a look at some of the games that we played earlier in the year. I still have no clue where the hell 2023 went. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, especially this last half to last quarter. It has gone by like crazy. So, I thought we'd come back to a game that I really enjoyed, that is still in early access, and has added quite a bit of content since the last time I've jumped in. Folks, this is a game called Crafty Survivors, and I'll tell you what, this is one of the more difficult cross between bullet heaven and action roguelite. And here's what I love about it. First of all, the art style brings a lot of whimsiness to it. But what I really like is the characters and how these characters were created with a lot of thought and love. We're going to go with this Sriracha Meteor. You know, I really like Sriracha. I just have to say that very quickly as an aside. I put it on a lot of stuff. Anyway, this game's characters are just phenomenal, and I think the devs really put a lot of thought into, let's just go with this, a lot of thought into how the characters attack and how they power up and the different capabilities that they're able to get. It's a lot of creativity, and I enjoy it quite a bit. All right, let's go with the, well, if we do this, then we're not going to have enough space for the evolution that it opens up. So actually, I'm just going to go with this extra knife slash for now. If this is your first time seeing Crafty Survivors, welcome. What we have is kind of this cross between action rogue and bullet heaven. We are trying to kill a requisite amount of enemies in this stage. And the game is doled out into different stages. We're gathering all kinds of materials, as you can see along the way. And then in the hub area of the game, we can repair our village. And what that's going to do for us is open up stat buffs. Sometimes it opens up even new characters, which, speaking of, there have been quite a few more characters added since the last time I played, and that's another big reason why I wanted to come back in today. Let's see what we got here. Freezing time. Throws a fridge at the direction you are aiming. I mean, that wouldn't be terrible. I actually like the flambe quite a bit as well. Okay. We're going to take it right to Flambe Town. So, if possible, I wouldn't mind. We're going to fire up our special. That is outstanding. All right, let's go with the increased AoE. The special is quite powerful, and this is what I'm looking for. So, now we've got a chance of grabbing some life back, which, being at half health at this point, I'm happy to see that show up. Serve is down there. That's the name of our special. It's down in the lower right, kind of all of our powers. And the way we get it is by applying all the different status effects to the enemies via our different powers. See, that flambe is pretty good, isn't it? Sucks them in. kind of a screen clear. All right, what do we got here? Reduces the skill cooldown of Peppercorn Poof and Salt Rain skills by 20%. That wouldn't be bad. Yeah, I think... Ooh, skill damage by 50%. Okay, let's go with the cooldown. I mean, we did open that one up specifically by getting both of those skills, so let's take advantage of it. And let's scoop these up while nobody's in the area. Looks like there's a chest up here as well. We'll grab that. Let's actually just put the point into the Peppercorn Poof. Nice little pepper shotgun, that ability. Okay, so we get a free Chef's Knife upgrade via the chest. It's wonderful. Ooh, nice little hard action there, too. It's a unique drop. So we're back at full health without even having to use serve. And I think I'm going to go with the Poofer again here. And then maybe what we'll do is look at reducing that skill cost again. Okay, so we're about halfway with enemies spawn. Cheers to you, by the way. Oh, that's great. I'm out here with another cup from the Beanbox calendar that my wife got me. Heard me talking a little bit about that. This is a cup called Feliz Navidad, and it's from a roaster out of San Francisco called Coffee Manufactory. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty good. Increase the number of uses of this skill by 1. Okay. Doesn't sound bad. We are sure picking up lots of resources, I'll tell you that much. Now this is a darker roast that I've got going. It's got a really nice flavor to it. Increase the number of uses by this skill again. Or, ooh, 2 extra charges. That sounds nice. Yeah, let's do that. So we've got notes of chocolate ganache, walnut, and molasses in this cup. It's quite good. Coffee advent calendars are my favorite type of advent calendar. I got my wife one this year too. And she has a popcorn advent calendar. If it was up to my wife, and she was just on her own, only having to take care of herself, my wife would probably be having dinners with popcorn and chocolate milk. So I guess it's good that we're in her life because, you know, that's not great. The last charge of this skill has a 30% chance of not being consumed. That's interesting. So you could shoot into infinity as long as you win that 30%er every time. I'll take it. I think we got a few extra that time. Ooh, look at this. I didn't even know there was a chest out there. Throws an additional oven. Not bad. All right, we're going to use serve here because I would like to potentially get some hearts back. So I'm just waiting till there's a lot of them on the screen. There we go. All right, I guess we didn't get our heart, but that's okay. It's all right. It's going to be okay. Maybe we'll find one laying on the ground randomly. Throws an additional oven and increases skill damage by 50%. I mean, that wouldn't be bad. But this wouldn't be bad either. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just get that general cooldown decrease across the board. Ooh, man. All right, we need to get rid of this creepy crawler thing. Oh! Goodness, I think it's a lot faster than me. And we've got serve available again. I think I'm probably gonna fire that off. Let's do it. Hey, 2 hearts that time. That's really good. Okay. Throws an additional oven. Or salt rains on an additional random enemy. I think we're gonna do that. When I first demoed Crafty Survivors, the game was in a state where you had to fire off each skill manually. Every attack does an additional knife slash, or we could just reduce cooldown of all of our skills again. I think we're going to do that. You had to fire off each skill manually, and it was so much to keep track of while also worrying about the enemies and everything else happening on the screen. It was a little much. Increase the number of uses of this skill by 1. Enemies affected by Spiced receive 10% additional damage, and Spiced is procced by the Peppercorn Poof. I mean, that wouldn't be bad. Let's do that. 'Cause that poof is firing off a lot. We're putting out a lot of spice. You can see it on that bat-looking guy right now. So anyway, the community of gamers playing this one said, hey, you know, we would really love it if all these skills would pop off automatically, or, you know, if that was an option. And I tell you, these guys really did just a tremendous job of implementing that into the game. All right, we are coming up on the end. 1237 out of 1270 here. So every attack does an additional slash. Let's go with another Sriracha Meteor here. And I believe we've got a boss on the scene here. We've got to stay out of... Ooh, those damaging beams. And I think that might be the actual boss. I'm not 100% on that. Or maybe it's a couple different bosses. But what I'm going to try to do is take this dude out first. And then we'll try and worry about this dude in the center that, man, is about to wipe us out. Really need to fire off serve if we can. Oh, goodness. All right. Hey, I mentioned it's a tough game. Let's go to our village where we can potentially apply some upgrades to the buildings. Looks like we're getting some news here that we're not going to read. But you are welcome to if you decide to pick this game up. Let's see, unlock wood gathering, unlock skill reroll. But you're seeing there what kind of effects we're getting. See, now this wouldn't be too bad. But it looks like we need some additional wood, so we can't do that one yet. This is going to unlock the fisherman. We need a type of wood, maybe a hardwood, that we don't have access to yet. Can't do this one because we still need more wood. We may not be able to do anything just yet. Can be visited by an item trader. Right. Reveal new recipes. Okay. So maybe we'll just go with the skill reroll. And then let's see what opens up next. Unlock skill remove. Okay, interesting. Well, I mean, we could. Not enough gold. Oh, right. Okay. All right. Well, hey, that's fine. So let's go and give it another attempt. And this time, I want to use our seamstress because she is quite powerful, and she's got a really interesting move set as well. We'll see how well I remember how to use her. It's been a minute or two, as you're aware. We haven't looked at this one in a while. I do like how the ball of yarn bounces between enemies. That's pretty cool. All right, throws a giant yarn ball that damages enemies when it hits the ground. After hitting the ground, it will bounce to a nearby location and damage enemies again. Yes, that sounds quite fine. Increases skill damage by 20%, increases critical hit chance, summons giant scissors to damage enemies. That sounds wonderful. Yes. And then we're going to look for that reaping cloth as well. I remember that one being very good. Hey, there it is. Summons a possessed piece of cloth that deals damage to enemies around you. Each enemy defeated has a 5% chance of healing one heart. That sounds very good to me. I knew there was one character where you had a really good chance of getting health back frequently, and I think it was the Seamstress. Yarn Ball. Increase the number of bounces by 2 additional times. Absolutely. Okay. And we will look to buff the Reaping Cloth, of course, because we're going to want that to get nastier and nastier, make it easier to get that health back. Oh, man. Don't run into trees. Throws the sewing hook in the direction you are aiming that deals damage to enemies in its path. If the hook hits a ground needle, it will latch to it and pull you in its direction, dealing 200% damage to enemies you go through. Increases the chance of blocking an attack by 10%. That's interesting. Or increases attack speed. You know what? I think we're going to go with Thimble Armor. I like that. Alright, I think there's also a way. Yep. Shocking Threads. Electrify threads that are currently active around you, dealing damage for 4 seconds to enemies that pass through them. Yeah, this is definitely one that we want. So we're going to have a lot of active thread. A lot of opportunities to do damage to them. Whether they're near us or not, we are back at full health thanks to the Creeping Cloth. But I love how these characters are so unique from each other. The damage caused does not reduce for every bounce anymore. Interesting. I'm gonna take a nice little sip there. Increases skill damage by 20%. Throws a needle in the direction you are aiming that damages enemies. Well, so that would take up our final spot, which is not going to leave room for these guys, unfortunately. But that's okay, because we're going with the Yarn Ball. I want to power that up pretty good. Okay. Now, if you notice that she doesn't have like an ultimate maneuver, you would be correct. The Cutting Excellence, Button Mayhem, and Reaping Cloth skills have a 35% chance of inflicting Curse to enemies by them. Curse. If the enemy affected is defeated within 3 seconds, it explodes. Okay, so I say we go with this because we have Cutting Excellence and we have the Reaping Cloth, and I will get the Button Mayhem next. So let's do that. That's going to be a good one for us. I got to remember to keep dashing as well so we can put out more electrifying yarn. Okay. Custom fitting prepares for 2 seconds to receive a buff. It guarantees a critical hit. Pointy pins. All right, so we're gonna hold off on those and we'll just go Thimble Armor. Why not, right? Health is not looking wonderful, I will say that. Add 1 extra charge to style and substance. Style and substance. Oh, okay, okay. So that would give us another dash opportunity. You know, I think we'll just go with that. And I'm hoping that we can find a heart. We got a heart back somehow. And I think we blocked that last attack that hit us because no damage was done. Yarn balls explode when they bounce the maximum amount of times, dealing damage to enemies around it. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Okay, let's see what we got here. Cutting Excellence decreases skill cooldown by 20%. Add 1 extra bounce to the bouncing yarn. We could get some magnesis or increase the number of bounces by 2 additional times. Well, I mean, we are going hog wild on the yarn ball. We decided that early on, so let's just stay the course, right? I mean, I think it's doing a pretty good job out there. Oh, here's our buttons. Perfect. All right, now we have 3 skills that apply the curse, where if we kill them within 3 seconds, they'll explode. So I'm thinking that we should be seeing some explosions happening out there. Decreases skill cooldown of the Reaping Cloth by 25%. Yeah, that sounds great. All right, what do we get? If the enemy affected is defeated within 3 seconds, it explodes. Okay, so I think it's doing more explosion damage now than original. Uh-oh. I think I'm stuck on a tree again. Increase the number of uses of this skill by 1. Let's do that. There we go. Got out of there. Okay. Increases skill damage by 50%. Well, you know, the health retrieval is procced on kills, and so we probably should think about doing that. Doubles the amount of bounces. Holy cow, that is substantial. I want both of these, but I can't have both, unfortunately. So we will go with the cloth. Lots of resources. Let's give some to the scissors. I want that double bounce to pop again. Okay. Increases the chance of inflicting curse by 15%. What do we got here with our Reaping Cloth? Enemies only need to be hit by the skill to give a chance of healing, and increases the number of uses of this skill by 1. Yes! Yes, we need that very badly. Okay. Didn't get any health that time. That's all right. It's tough nailing the timing of the Reaping Cloth and making sure that enemies are in the area. It's just not happening, folks. But I'm trying, believe me. There, we got some hits off with it that time. All right, what do we got here? Increases the amount of buttons by 1. Or adds 1 extra bounce. You know what? Let's give a little love to the bouncing yarn ball. I think it does a good job out there. And you know, here's the nice thing. Regardless of whether we get the win or not, we are absolutely gathering more resources towards benefiting the growth of the village. Increases the chance of blocking an attack by 10%. So we would be up to 30% at this point. I don't know. I think it's worth it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Prevention, right? Okay. Let's go get that if we can. Increases skill damage by 20%. For style and substance. Yeah, it's 1 extra charge. I think we're just going to go crit hit chance. All right, what do we got here? Increases the duration of the skill by 2 seconds. That's cool. I don't hate that. I think this guy's going to drop a chest as well. Perfect. Okay. Summon lightning bolts on ground needles connected to electrified threads, dealing 500% damage. Cheers to you, folks. Gosh, that's a good cup of coffee. Got the coffee through Beanbox, in case anybody is interested. Okay, increase crit hit chance. Magnesis. Threads do damage in shorter intervals. Let's do that. Proc damage a little bit more often. We are starting to come up on the end here. Oh, I heard the blocking sound. That was cool. Okay. The scissors are capable of attacking 1 additional time before vanishing. Sure. Sounds okay. I think the scissors are actually quite strong. I think we need just a general upgrade to Magnesis that comes from the village. Increases the chance of inflicting curse by 15%. Increases weapon and skill damage. You know, just some good old DPS might be the way to go here. Let's do that. I put a community post up there to see if anybody had any games from any point in the year that they wanted to see again. I will tell you that we absolutely will be going back to Tiny Rogues later in the month to take a look at their big release of new content. I'm quite excited about it. And if you weren't aware, what we'll also do is try and find the Goat Force capability. I still have not spotted it in-game and would love to see it in action. That's right, folks. The Goat made it into a video game. Because Ruby Benji, the dev behind Tiny Rogues, is awesome. Okay. You know what's not so awesome is getting hit twice. Oh, gosh. No, not again. All right, I am glad for the extra dashes that we have. I still don't know if that is the actual boss or if that gigantic dude is the actual boss. But I think the gigantic dude might be dead. So we may have our answer. Oh, we got him! Yes! All right. That's exciting. Okay, so we got some resources. And of course, we've opened up the next zone. Let's make our exit here. Perfect. All right. Okay, so no, we didn't open up any additional characters this time, but we started playing the game again, which is great. Okay. Folks, we've reached the point in the video for audience participation. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, we'd love to have you out here with us more often. Just know that you are going to see awesome games, and they will fill your wish list. It will be weighed down very heavily, especially if you are a roguelike or a roguelite fan. If you're hanging out here, there's a good chance that you are. Thanks for hanging out. This was great getting back into this one. And let's do this again sometime. We'll get together, we'll play a rogue. We'll give away a video game at least once a week. Although in the month of December, I've been told that we're going to do that more often than once a week. In fact, we've already given away 8 games this month. 8! It's going to be jam-packed. Have a great one out there. We'll see you again soon.